Skydiving. Introduction. Bob Gates is the owner of an instructor at Cleveland Parachute Center in Cleveland, Ohio. He is married and has 2 children who are both skydivers. Interviewer: how did you get started in skydiving? Bob: my dad was one of the pioneers. When he thought I was mature enough, he put me through a class, so I started jumping because I grew up around it. First jump. Interviewer: how old were you when you made your first jump? Bob: I was 13. It was scary and exciting at the same time. I remember wondering as I left the airplane what the heck I was doing. Did you jump by yourself the first time? Yes, it was a static long jump, where the parachute is opened for you. The static line is 10 feet long and is attached to equipment in the plane. When you jump and are 10 feet out, the line pulls a pin that releases the parachute. It takes about 5 seconds for the parachute to open fully. You steer the parachute down and land it yourself. And remember to do the arch, which means to spear them out and push your hips forward. That helps make you stable as you fall through the air. What happens if you don't do that? You can flip. If you are flipping when the chute is opening, you can get tangled in the line. What did it feel like the first time you jumped? I remember the quietness. No matter where you are, even if you think it's real quiet, there's noise. But during that first ride down there was absolutely silence. There's no sound of wind rushing. No, it was definitely a unique experience to have no sound. Scariest moment. What's the scariest thing that ever happened to you? I had a canopy collision once, which means my canopy collided with someone else's. The other person fell away and I was left tangled, so that my legs were tied up in the chute. I was dropping to earth, and the chute was opening up and collapsing, then opening up and collapsing. There was a moment when I didn't think I was going to make it. Luckily, it opened and stayed open just before I hit, so I lived through that one. If your legs are tangled, does that mean you are not able to land? It means I couldn't get rid of the chute or do anything. I had opening my reserved chute, so I had both chutes out, but they were still collapsing and opening. My legs were still tangled in the lines when I landed. Instead of landing on my feet, I landed on my back. I survived that, but it was a scary moment. How high? How fast? How high do you go in an airplane before you jump out? We normally try to jump as high as 13,000 feet. We could jump at 2,000 feet. And pull the parachute right away, but we like to fall for a while before opening the chute. That's called a free fall. You can't go higher than 13 feet because there's no enough oxygen in the air. How long can you free fall if you jump from 13 feet? Just a whole minute. You speed up to approximately 120 miles per hour. A skydiver could get to over 200 miles an hour on his head. What do you mean on his head? The normal position is with your stomach facing down to the earth. On your head means you fall head down or feet down. You have less wind resistance, so you fall faster. How do you know when it's time to open the parachute? Beginners start with an altimeter made for skydiving. It is an instrument that shows them how high they are. They read the altimeter, and at the right altitude they pull the ripcord. Beginners open at 3,000 feet or higher, which gives them more time to read if something goes wrong. After a while, they learn to look down and tell when the earth is getting close enough. An experienced skydiver also develops an internal clock, a timer. The more he jumps, he'll know when he's had enough fun. Does it seem like a short or a long time when you're falling? The first time you do a free fall, it seems like a short time because everything is so new. As you get more experience, you can do a lot in those 60 seconds of free fall time, but it never lasts long enough. Training. What do you have to learn before you can jump? In 6 hours of training, you can learn everything necessary to make the first jump as safe as possible. You'll learn the commands you will hear in the airplane and how to leave the airplane. You'll learn the arch position for falling with the hips forward or spread out. You learn how to check your chute. You learn how and when to use your second chute and how to steer down. You learn how to find the drop zone using aerial photos. You learn the landing flare, which means you have to know how to pull the toggle loops. These are 2 lines, one for each hand. They are attached to the back of the chute. Pulling on them helps you control the speed and direction of your fall. You learn how to lower when you land and how to pick up your chute. Do you have to repack the chute? You learn to pack your chute, but experienced certificate see it. Leaguers actually pick the chutes for less experienced jumpers. Do you jump tandem first and then solo? You could do a tandem first, which means you jump connected with an instructor, or you could do a static line for your first jump, where your chute is opened for you, or you can do a free fall first, where two instructors hold your harness at exit and you're free fall with them. They're there to help you stabilize and to give you hand signals, but you pull your own record and steer your parachute down and land it yourself. Equipment. What kind of equipment do you need? You need two parachutes, a harness, and a container that holds the parachutes. You don't need special shoes. I know experienced skydivers who land in bare feet. You should wear a hard helmet, goggles, and a jumpsuit, which is a one-piece suit with a zipper up the front. Cost. Is it an expensive hobby? A skydiver spends $1,000 to $1,500 for the training course. The parachute costs between $2,000 and $4,000. Each season he does 50 to 10 jumps at about $20 a piece.